You're listening to Healing Wisdom. All of our shows are podcast on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us at healingwisdomradioshow.com. I'm your host, Pandora Peoples. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Welcome all. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is Healing Wisdom. I'm Pandora Peoples. Happy early Mother's Day, moms and those who love moms. Today we're celebrating early with our guest, Tula Plus Yoga studio owner, Cindy Okolo. And we're joined by 2 of 3 generations of Wellfleet women with a Sunday morning tradition that they're going to share with us. So welcome, Mimi Butts and Christy Braga de Lima. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So I'm really happy to have you here sharing your story of how yoga weaves you together with Cindy's studio and how her studio really meets your needs as individual yoginis and helps create a space that's really fostered this connection. So first of all, I'd love for you, Cindy, to talk about your mission behind Tula Plus Yoga and how you came to know this family.
There's been a yoga space in Eastham for a very long time. It was Glow, right? And then it became Tula Yoga when Eschers and Melissa Lynch took it over. And I was a teacher for them. And then they were not able to keep Tula Studio going. And so we got together one night at, over a bottle of wine, and they said to me, "What do you think? Would you like to take over the studio?" I never really thought about it before, but here's the thing. The studio has the most beautiful community that has built over years, I think, right? And I think everyone who has owned or taught at Tula Plus has had this ethic of, serving community, of building community, of using yoga as a healing modality within a community and being part of a community, right? So it's just a amazing community of people. And when I had this opportunity, like I said, I hadn't really planned on it, but I really couldn't say no. I did not want to see this community disband, right? So then we have these wonderful people who come into the studio, like Christy and Mimi and Maya. And I think I probably met Christy first. And then, she started coming with Maya, and then Mimi started coming. I think it was in that order, not that it matters. But they very frequently are there all together on a Sunday morning, and that is just lovely. It's so beautiful. And we do have a number of other families who come too. It's really fun to get to know, first of all, it's typically the parent or kind of a middle person in the family. And then younger people will come, and maybe parents of parents will come. And it's just, that's what we are. We're a beautiful family community. It's just a wonderful place to be.
That's really nice. For people who don't regularly go to yoga classes, sometimes I will speak to them and inquire as to why it is that they don't do yoga anymore, or that they just tried it out. And I think a lot of times they get intimidated and feel like other people know how to do things that they don't know how to do. Yeah. And it feels like such a big gap, the familiarity that they sense that everybody has. But I like the idea of going into a space that is like a family space, and there's multiple generations. It kind of it's like, oh, I really can do things at my own pace.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's very much in, Mimi and Christy, you can, explain how you feel about this. But I think one of the things I've always felt about the Tula is that people they check their ego at the door, right? And we come to practice together and to support one another, to, honor one another, to be with one another. We don't have to know one another really well, but when we're in that room together, there really is kind of a magic of individuals being a collective and caring about one another and caring about, the larger world around them.
It's such a great practice for so many reasons.
Oh, yes.
Mimi, can you speak to being the grandmother in your family, and you had started yoga a while back and then had taken a break and came back to it because of Christy? Is that how it played out?
Yes, that's absolutely right. Cindy had offered her classes for Valentine's Day. Come with a friend, no cost. And so Christy said to me, do you want to go to yoga with me? And my first reaction was hesitation. I said, I don't want to embarrass you. Um, I'm not very stretchy now. And she said, there's no judgment. Do what you can, but I'd like you to come. And how do you say no to your daughter when she wants you to come? Of course I'll come. And I have two other daughters and grandchildren, and they're out in Colorado. So I don't have the opportunity to do with them what I can do with Christy. So that was important to me. And I went there and she was right. There was no judgment. If you couldn't do something, as long as you tried, it was good.
Christy, tell us about your yoga practice and what made you think that your mom was a good partner for yoga with you.
Well, I'd say Cindy's teachings are so generous and caring and comfortable, and she uses humor a lot to make people feel comfortable. I lost my dad about a year ago. It's my mom's first Mother's Day without our dad. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to invite her to join me for Valentine's Day.
So sweet. So can you talk about this Mother's Day? Obviously, yoga is going to be in your plans.
Yeah, we'll attend the Mother's Day yoga class. It's like our favorite Sunday thing, even if, it's a day off, it's Sunday, like Cindy's on our schedule because that starts off our day right. I'm sure my daughter Maya would agree. Like, we always feel better when we get back from yoga.
Cindy, do you have any special plans for Mother's Day?
Yes, Mother's Day class is free. And, it's Mother's Day, but it's not free just for mothers. It's a free class for all nurturers. So who's not a nurturer, right? Maybe you're a mom and you have kids, or maybe you're a fur mom, or maybe you're a caregiver to your neighbors, or maybe you're a guardian. I'm a guardian of a legal guardian of an 11-year-old. We're all caregivers and nurturers. So, the class is basically free for anyone who wants to come, and we practice together and just honor the nurturance that we give to the world and the care that we give to the world.
Very sweet. And can you speak to what your studio offers in terms of the different types of classes and different levels and how you meet the community?
We have a variety of classes. We're just adding some Yoga 101 classes back to our schedule as our variety of sort of audiences start to come back into the studio. We, start to have more people who are able to come to yoga this time of year and throughout the summer. So we're adding back in some foundations yoga 101. On the other end of the spectrum, we have a class for inversions and arm balances. So, and Christy's been to that one. I like that class, Christy. I don't want to let that class go. So that's typically a very small class, but we play around and we do all sorts of crazy things, right? And just, and if there's many of them I can't do. So we together might be pulling out blocks or blankets, or last Saturday we pulled out the wheel and we used the yoga wheel and, figured out how that can help us with these postures. So, we have a spectrum. We also have a yoga for longevity class. And in that class, I have a guy who's 90 years old in that class. And it's really meant to help people to build bone density, to mitigate or avoid osteoarthritis. And then we have vinyasa, which is our most popular class. We have a number of vinyasa classes where we flow through a sequence. We have an aromatherapy vinyasa. We have slow flow, where everyone has to do everything slowly. And the hardest part about that is patience, right? I want to get out of this posture. That's when the yoga starts. So, we have a pretty good variety of classes. Oh.
That's really awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I had a teacher that dared me to go home and start doing postures for like an hour or more each, and I did. And it was a neat breakthrough. Yeah, it was. Really
yeah. And then you will gravitate. There's certain people who vinyasa is their jam, and that's what they're going to come to, and they're not going to really come to other classes. And then we have some people who will try anything, or some people do prefer to be in a more foundational class. So I'm really happy that we can offer enough to maybe appeal to a broad, cross section of people.
Christy, how did you first get bitten by the yoga bug?
Confession. Well, I was a gymnast And then as you get older, you can't practice gymnastics because they don't allow you to. So I was looking for modalities where you can practice flexibility and strength and inversions and arm balances. And so I got involved in yoga. I got involved in capoeira, which is another practice that I'm involved in. And it stuck because they allow adults to join, I guess, yoga at all ages and capoeira at all ages, but not necessarily go do gymnastics.
Very cool. Do you want to speak a little bit about capoeira?
Yeah, actually, I joined, well, we're talking yoga, but I joined capoeira and yoga basically the same time when I was in my 20s. And I was just looking for a group that was supportive, that made me feel safe, made me feel comfortable in my body and moving. And it was open to all ages and all shapes, forms. So that both of them stuck with me.
I want to try that sometime.
Yeah, you have to come. I know you're always trying to get me to CrossFit, so you have to come to capoeira.
Yeah, I think, this is one thing that's wonderful about, the community and the Cape, right? Especially, where we are. It's like, people kind of, they kind of sometimes, travel in these little circles. So we have a little CrossFit group that practice at the studio. And then I also teach at I teach yoga at a CrossFit gym. So, we kind of cross-populate, which is really nice because yoga is amazing and it's wonderful, but it's not the be all and end all. We know science tells us that, particularly as our bodies, start to get more mature, and that happens pretty early in life, right? We need to be building strength, and we need to, be lifting weights, and we need to be doing heavy stuff. So it's really nice to travel in these kinds of groups where, I don't mean we travel together, but I see people in CrossFit who also come to the studio where they do yoga at CrossFit, and I'm trying to get Christy to come into that group because, man, she is wicked strong. She's really something. And so is Mimi. Mimi, we'll get you over to CrossFit one of these days. She says.
No comment.
No comment. We'll see, babe. We'll see.
I was always saying, weight-bearing exercise, Mom. You have to do weight-bearing exercise, and that's why she liked to do yoga sculpt with the weights, or which I also did with you and was wonderful, the yoga sculpt class.
Yeah. So we're adding Maya. Maya's coming on the schedule as a teacher for yoga sculpt, because we do need to be, lifting weights. We do need to be doing stuff that challenges our body in those ways. And so we're really thrilled to have her join us. And middle of May, she'll be coming on to teach on Saturday mornings. And that'll be great.
Wonderful. And Mimi, are you going to take your granddaughter's class?
I am. I've lifted some weights. I can do 4-pounders, which is not huge, but it's something. So yes, I will be going to her class.
Wonderful.
Mimi, for a yoga sculpt class, 4-pounders are at the top of that's right at the top of toughness, because I don't have anything more than, I have 5-pound weights at the most in the studio. 4 pounds is really good. That's a good ambitious goal to be doing 4 pounds in yoga sculpt. So just know that you'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
That makes me feel a lot better.
Oh, good.
And Cindy, I'd love for you to speak to CrossFit for those who aren't familiar with all the different kinds of exercises. Can you share where you teach?
Yeah, so I work out and teach yoga at CrossFit Nauset in Orleans. And so it's a gym where, and I resisted joining that gym for years. It's like, I don't want to do Olympic weightlifting. Like, I don't want to do this crap. But I kind of had exhausted many other options, and I reached out to them, and they have people in that gym who are, I don't know, deadlifting 500 pounds. I mean, they got these huge barbells with lots of weight on them. But those people are really nice, and they're very tolerant of someone like me who has like a 15-pound bar and 10-pound weights on either end. because I'm not a youngster and I'm not deadlifting 300 pounds. I'm deadlifting pretty light. Everyone can fit into this gym, which I love, right? That's like Tula Plus yoga. It's like there's something for everyone there. And the workshop, the classes are really, they have a variety of levels that you can do. And you can always find something that suits you. Plus, the owner, Chris, and the people who teach for him are very knowledgeable. So when you're lifting heavy weights, you want to be working with someone who knows what they're doing. And they're very knowledgeable. So, and then yoga is a great complement to a CrossFit routine and vice versa, right? So it works out pretty well. Are you going to join us, Pandora? And you're going to come to CrossFit with Christy and me?
Oh, I'm in Los Angeles right now, but I am there with you in spirit. So
good enough.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who are trying to start the new things, and of course it's the spring, so I think it's a really good time for a lot of people in terms of the mind-body connection, like what people are going through, whatever kind of transitions or challenges people are going through. It's like it's always nice to clear your mind, just if you're a caretaker, get some time for yourself. Mm-hmm. There's so many aspects.
Yeah. Mimi and Christy and Maya are really indulgent because one of the things that we do in, yoga, of course, is try to, go a little bit deeper. Like, it's not just about moving the body, though moving the body is really important to coming inside ourselves. We're beings and bodies. We have to deal with our bodies. But, we have breath work in class, and I like to read people's stories and just try to make points about that relate to yoga but relate to yoga in the larger universe as well. So that's a big important part of it, is that mind body spirit connection.
I'm so into the idea that in yoga classes parts fall in unison because the breath helps the heartbeat at the same time. And people naturally, when they're breathing together, it just happens. And I feel like that's got to have profound implications. We can sense that, right? That we're all on the same page and the same breath with the same heartbeat,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah.
So do you have any events coming up for the summer? What do you have planned?
We have a few things coming up in May. We have a 40 Days to Wellness, and that's being led by Allison Dwyer at the Cape Cod Healing Space in Orleans. And we're going to have yoga 6 days a week for anyone who wants it, along with topical sessions on things like compassion, creativity. I'll have a storyteller come in and talk to people about telling their stories. And we'll have a physical therapist who's going to come in and talk about, the latest research about the science of movement. We'll have informational sessions as well once a week. And we're going to have a full moon ceremony on May 31st and an optional cleanse. We're just trying to help people to spend 40 days just focused on their own wellness with yoga at the root of it. We're having a wonderful myofascial workshop coming up where two really talented and very highly trained myofascial specialists are going to come in and show people how to use a therapy ball to release tension and pain in their own bodies. We always try to do stuff like, that's informational. We will have, my teacher is coming from Michigan in July, and you guys better come to her classes. She's amazing. In the fall, we're planning a women's wellness retreat. And so that'll be a weekend for, a variety of topics and sessions and classes. And then, we'll just be adding in a variety of other classes and, occasional topical sessions. One of our teachers is an Ayurvedic master. And so we'll probably do some more stuff with Ayurveda over the summer. Yeah. So it'll be busy and fun. And
what's the name of that teacher?
So it's Melissa Lynch. Yeah. So she's got a lot of training in Ayurveda, and she's also a trained yoga teacher as well. We'll probably have some sound healing going on over the summer. We have another teacher coming on schedule who's really, quite experienced and well-trained in sound healing. So we'll be doing more with that.
That sounds so great. That's fantastic. And the 40-day challenge, what did you call it?
Yeah, 40 days to better wellness is what we call it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So. And a full moon gathering.
And a full moon. That's right. 31st. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Any final words, Mimi or Christy?
I'd like to say one of the things that I think I really like about the class is I tend to be a busy, busy person. And especially with my husband dying last year, myself and the other employees have taken over running the business. And when I go to class and you have your quiet moments, my mind, I think they call it monkey brain in yoga. Mm-hmm. My mind is always, what about this? What about that? Now you've got some time to think about it. Start planning. And I have to force myself to calm down. And that's a very hard thing for me to do. But this practice, both physical and mental, helps me to do that. And I think that's as much benefit as the stretching and the strengthening.
Mm-hmm. That's such a good point, Mimi. Yeah. And the research backs that, yoga definitely, one of the major benefits that's kind of been shown in the research literature is it reduces stress. And that's exactly what you're doing on that mat, is practicing that stress reduction. That's wonderful.
And I will consider CrossFit.
All right. As we say, open the front door of your house, open the back door of your house, let your thoughts come in the front door and walk out the back door. Don't invite them to stay for tea, right? And that's kind of one of the ways that we put it. We're thinking on the mat. How can we not think about what it is we have to do next? We got a huge list, but the trick is to not attach to those thoughts. Let them come, let them go. And we practice that every class. So yeah, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Anything, Christy?
No, I just think yoga is a wonderful mindful practice. I always recommend mindfulness-based practice to patients. So I like yoga. There's so many, but I feel very fortunate for the opportunity to work with Cindy because she's a great teacher.
And I'm so lucky to work with these guys. I'm glad that you're in our community.
Thank you.
Well, have a fantastic Mother's Day. And many blessings. And happy Mother's Day, everyone out there.
Thank you. And reach out to us at Tula Plus Yoga if you have any questions. And next time you're in town, Pandora.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And take a class with us.
I'd love to.
We have a big sign on the roof now, so you can't miss us.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us. And thank you for doing what you do. And thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Healing Wisdom. We're going to hear some music. First, we're going to hear Eleanor and Dario's Amandote.
Algún día verás que me voy a morir amándote, amándote, amándote. Algún día sabrás lo que ha sido vivir amándote, amándote, amándote. Quizás comprenderás lo mucho que sufrí amándote, amándote, amándote. Quizás entenderás todo lo que perdí amándote, amándote, amándote. Y la muchacha me dijo, no te enamores de nadie, no te enamores de nadie, me dijo, no te enamores de nadie, mi vida, mi amor, con un beso me dijo, no te enamores de nadie, no te enamores de nadie, me dijo, no te enamores de nadie. Algún día verás que me voy a morir amándote, amándote, amándote. Algún día sabrás lo que ha sido vivir amándote, amándote, amándote. Y fue así que me dijo, no te enamores de nadie, no te enamores de nadie, me dijo, no no te enamores de nadie, mi vida, mi amor, al acostarnos me dijo, no te enamores de nadie, no te enamores de nadie, me dijo, no te enamores de nadie. Le, 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 le.
We're going to go out with a Sephardic folk song from Nani Vazana. It's No Quiero Madre, No Mother, I Don't Want.
Hija mía, te voy a ver en buenos, dárale el alto, gente de Perón, dárale el alto. No quiero madre, no quiero que él es alto, yo no la alcanzo, gente de Perón, no quiero madre, no quiero. Quiero